Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess, here for another one of my missing mystery videos. I do hope everyone is doing well and feeling well on tonight or today. It's not quite nighttime yet, but I hope each and every one of you all are doing well and feeling well. As I said, today's missing persons or a video, missing mystery video is for Anastasia Acosta. Who is from the Pulaski County area of Arkansas, okay? So Anastasia has been missing since February the 10th of 2017, and today's missing mystery is going to be for her. I like to give you all an image of the victim or the individual that is reported as missing. This is Anastasia, okay? She was 17 years old when she went missing from the Pulaski County area of Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, okay? So, like I said, her name is Anastasia Acosta. She's been missing since February the 10th of 2017. She was 17 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is from the Pulaski County area of Arkansas. Her gender is female. She has brown eyes, black hair. She was 5 foot 4 inches tall, and she weighed about 150 pounds. Anastasia Acosta was last seen on February the 10th of 2017 by her father. I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's a great start when dealing with a missing persons case. You know, who last saw them, what did they last have on, but it just stated that she was last seen by her father. Like, where was she last seen though? Was she leaving home? What time was that? Was she on her way to school? Was she on her way to work? Was she going to a friend's house? Blase, blase, bloom. That information was not provided. However, it is said that she was last seen on February the 10th of 2017 by her father. Her father also stated that she was wearing a white pullover shirt and jeans of some kind, okay? Police say that Anastasia is known to frequent the North Little Rock area by the YMCA on JFK Boulevard. Okay, so I did do a spirit reading for her. I also pulled some extra messages for her as well. So without any further ado, we are going to get right into this message. Or this reading, actually, guys. Give me just a minute. I'm going to clear out any energy. If you all hear any noises, I do have my the door open just to let in some fresh air. So, you know, you may hear, you know, traffic or something driving by or some kind of noises. So, you know, just kind of disregard that if you will. Be so kind to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the reading while I am lighting the sage. Okay. So my spirit guides, I started off by asking some general questions, just because the simple fact that there wasn't much information to go on at all pertaining to this situation. So of course, immediately I wanted to know, was Anastasia still alive and well? Was she still with us? So I asked my spirit guides, is Anastasia still alive? My spirit guides told me no, okay? So she is deceased at this time. Anastasia is no longer with us. And I feel, my spirit guides are leading me to believe that Anastasia did not live long. I believe that she passed away on the same day that she left home. I asked my spirit guides, was Anastasia abducted? My spirit guides do tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, did Anastasia leave or run away on her own? My spirit guides tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, on the day of Anastasia's disappearance, did she meet up with someone? My spirit guides tell me no. So she had intentions to run away, which lets me know that she was in distress some type of way. There was something that was prompting her or for her to feel like or want to run away from her home situation. which we'll get into later. But when Anastasia left the house, she left on her own. She was not leaving to particularly meet with anyone in particular, though, okay? But because of certain circumstances and different things going on, Anastasia did want to run away from home, okay? Like I said, she did not leave home with the intentions on meeting someone. This does not mean that she did not, talk to anyone prior to her leaving or anything like that. Actually, my spirit guides came through and let me know that she has at least a friend or two who is aware of, her wanting to run away, her wanting to leave or whatever. And they probably, I feel like they actually encouraged her too. However, I do not feel like that they were directly involved with her leaving. Okay. She was definitely, she was 17, so she was definitely dealing with some other things in life. She was, growing up, hormones racing, just different things happening in her life. And we'll get into that in a minute. But I just wanted to let you all know that. So she did have intentions on running away. However, like I said, when she left, she did not leave with the intentions on specifically meeting up with somebody in particular, okay? So I asked my spirit guides, has Anastasia been hurt or harmed in any way? My spirit guides tell me yes, because of the fact that she is no longer living. I wanted to know, did she accidentally hurt herself? Or did somebody purposely harm her? Or like what happened exactly? So my spirit guides do tell me that she was indeed harmed in some type of way. She was hurt in some type of way. And I already told you that she did leave home on her own. But at some point in time, she was abducted by someone. Okay? And this was after she left home. So I asked my spirit guides, was Anastasia in distress on February the 10th of 2017 when she left home? My spirit guides tell me yes, okay? So when she left home, she was upset about something. There was some type of, there may be I feel like there was an argument or something, possibly with her parents or her family or whoever she lived with prior to her leaving. She was upset and she was under the influence, okay, when she left home, and she wanted to run away from home. So I asked my spirit guides, did someone prompt or tell Anastasia to meet them somewhere? My spirit guides tell me no, okay? So like I said, when she left home, she left on her own, but she did not specifically leave with the intentions on meeting up with somebody in particular, okay? I asked my spirit guides, did Anastasia have a boyfriend who lured her away? My spirit guides tell me no. I asked my spirit guides, did Anastasia's friends convince her that she should go ahead and run away? My spirit guides tell me yes. I feel like this is something that she was vocal about with her friends. However she was feeling, whatever was going on at home, or that she was dealing with or feeling some type of way about, she expressed with one or more of her friends. I feel like at least one person. And this person encouraged her, yeah, girl, you should totally leave, or whatever. I don't know if she had plans to go and stay with this person or, what her next move was going to be, because this day she just kind of abruptly left home. And that was like the bulk of her plans. She just wanted to run away from home. And I feel like she wanted to run away from home for no other reason than so she can do what she wanted to do. Like, seriously. She was at that age where she didn't want any rules or regulations or anything, and she wanted to do what she wanted to do. And so she was willing to run away from home to be free and clear to do just that, okay? So her friend, she did have at least one friend or a couple of friends that she spoke with with about her wanting to leave, and they did convince her that she should just run away, okay? So obviously she was not happy at home to a certain degree, okay? I asked my spirit guys, is anyone directly connected to Anastasia withholding information from authorities? Now, my spirit guides on this tells me that a friend knows something, okay? But I don't feel like, hold on. Sorry about that noise, guys. That was a city bus. Like, the city bus literally drives right past my house. And I told y'all I have the door open, so excuse that. Excuse me. They're trying to keep me from speaking. They're trying to keep me from getting this out. The friend, I don't feel like the authority figures here in Arkansas spoke to this friend, okay? So to withhold information, you would have had to have been spoken to and just not told somebody something, okay? But you could still be withholding information, because considering the fact that this person is missing, you could have come forward at any time and say, hey, I know this, that, or the third. But I don't feel like this friend has done that, and I do not feel like this friend has been spoken to, you know, or contacted by police or authorities or anything like that either. I do feel like the father or a family member, someone close to Anastasia, know more than what they have told authorities. But for the most part of the individuals who knows Anastasia, they are not withholding information because they don't know, you know, anything pertaining to her disappearance. I asked my spirit guides, was Anastasia communicating with any strangers online prior to her disappearance? My spirit guides tell me no. However, when it comes to online, I feel like there's definitely police, the sheriff's authorities should definitely look into her social media, because I feel like she was very vocal about her unhappiness at home and things leading up to her disappearance. So I'm not sure if they done that or not, but my spirit guides are coming through and telling me that if they were to look at her social media platforms that she had, they would have seen how she spoke very frankly about her unhappiness or discomfort or whatever about being at home. I asked my spirit guides, has Anastasia been killed? My spirit guides still tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, Anastasia was abducted by someone she was familiar with? My spirit guides tell me yes. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that she was familiar with this person, but this was not somebody who was related to her personally, okay? But she was familiar with this person. So for you to be familiar with a person means that you have seen them frequently. You know what I'm saying? Y'all may not be like the best of friends. So like if you're familiar, like say you work with certain people, you are familiar with those people, but you may not have a personal relationship with those people. You may know that person's name, you are used to seeing that person, thus you are familiar with them, but it doesn't mean that you have a personal relationship with them. So my spirit guides tell me that Anastasia was abducted by someone she was familiar with, okay? My spirit guides also tell me that Anastasia was abducted by a neighbor, okay? And the way this went is on the day of Anastasia's disappearance, when she left home with all intentions to run away, she asked her neighbor for a ride, okay? And this is how Anastasia became in the company of this neighbor, okay? And then things went awry from there. My spirit guides tell me that this neighbor gave Anastasia a ride, or the neighbor that gave Anastasia a ride is an African American black male, okay? This neighbor is not only African American and a black male, but he was a teenager also at the time of Anastasia's disappearance, okay? The neighbor is a African American black male, and he was a teenager at the time. My spirit guides tell me that this neighbor lived on the right side of Anastasia's house. So I'm not really sure where they lived exactly, like how their street is set up. But however their house sat, this neighbor that gave her this ride lived on the right side of them. Now, this could be the house right next to them on the right side, or this could be a couple of houses down, you know, from their house. But whoever it is, this is a house that's on the right side of their house, either right next door or down the street, but on the right side of their house. So if their house is facing this away, the neighbor's house that of the guy that gave her the ride is on the right side. So whether it's the house that's immediately next to theirs or whether it's a couple of houses down, they're on the right side of the street. And this is an African American black male. He was a teenager at the time. Okay, my spirit guides tell me that Anastasia was raped by this neighbor. My spirit guides also tell me that Anastasia was killed while she was being raped. My spirit guides tell me that Anastasia's body was buried somewhere. However, my spirit guides do tell me that Anastasia's body is still in Arkansas. Okay, so this person did essentially abduct her. Okay, she left home on her own. She left out walking. She asked this neighbor for a ride. This neighbor agreed to give her a ride, but this neighbor then did not take her where she wanted to go. I believe once she got in the vehicle with this person, at some point in time, the neighbor came on to her and she resisted him, which pissed him off. Okay, yeah, it pissed him off. Okay, at this point, he did not take her where she wanted to go or where she had asked to go, and at that point, she had been abducted by this person. He attacked her. He raped her. He killed her in the process, and then he went on to dispose of her body. Okay. But my spirit guides tell me that she is buried somewhere. My spirit guides also tell me that Anastasia's body is still in Arkansas. Okay. Also, very important, my spirit guides are telling me that there is only one suspect that is involved in the disappearance, the rape, and the murder of Anastasia, which is that neighbor. Okay. So it's not like he was working with a team or a group of people or, the person that I feel like, I'm going to get into some other things in just a minute. I feel like others are aware of what happened. But the person who actually assaulted, raped, and killed Anastasia was only that one person. Okay? So, I asked my spirit guides where Anastasia's body could be found. My spirit guides tell me that Anastasia's body is buried somewhere near home. Okay, my spirit guides. Sorry about the noise, guys. My spirit guides, these noise campaigns be going on. Y'all know I'm a target, honey. They do this stuff all the time, but we're gonna keep it moving. My spirit guides tell me that Anastasia's body is buried somewhere near home. Also, my spirit guides tell me that Anastasia's body is buried at a park, okay? Specifically, my spirit guides tell me that Anastasia's body is buried close to downtown Little Rock in a park called Murray Park or Murray Park. It's Murray Park, okay? And that is where Anastasia is buried, okay? Anastasia's body is, like I said, in Murray Park, but Murray Park is big, okay? So like when you first come in to Murray Park, there's like this country club type house, and then they have like a golf area. You pass that and you actually get to the first part of Murray Park, okay? Where the Murray Park sign is, where that first parking lot that you can turn into. When you turn into there, you can either make a left or you can make a right, okay? Okay. Y'all have to understand that this park is like, is aligning the river. Like the river goes all the way down. I've done a couple of my videos out there, and it's really eerie because where Anastasia's body is, I've literally gone to either just meditate and chill out because it's quiet, and all of this or whatever, or I'll do videos out there. Okay, so anybody that's watching this that's from Arkansas that is familiar with Murray Park, there's different sections, okay? It's broke down into different sections all the way down to the Big Dam Bridge. Like, it's a huge park, but it's sectioned off in different areas, okay? So like the first part, once you get all past like the little country club place and where they play golf, where you first turn down that street, and then it's a long straight stretch of road, okay? The first place that you can turn into Murray's Park, there is a dog park that is there, and you can go around a little circle loop, okay? And as you turn into the park, you make a right, and it's like a little like a U-turn almost, but it's a circle loop that goes all the way around, and smack dab in the middle of that circle loop is the dog park. It's where people take their dogs and they can run around and play in this fenced area, okay? Anastasia's body is buried in that area, not in the middle part where the dog park is. But if anybody has ever been back there, it's very secluded. So once you're coming around the little loop-de-loop part, there's like nothing but a whole bunch of, like greenery, grass, woody type of area. But there's a couple like walking paths through there because people have walked through there. Like there's a short distance and you can get to the river like that, because this whole park all the way down is aligning the river. But Anastasia's body is back and behind there. But she's in a grassy area. She's in a wooded area. I really should have gone out there to do this video so I can definitely show you all or whatever, but I thought about it and I was worried about running up on her body or whatever, which, she went missing in 2017, so she would be like skull and bones right now. Anybody that's from Arkansas that sees this, that knows where Murray Park is, knows what I'm talking about. There's only one section of that park that has a dog park in it, and it's the first entrance into Murray Park, okay? And like I said, you turn in, and then you make an immediate right, okay? And then there's like a parking area there. There's a parking area to the right, and then there's bathroom stalls, men and women bathroom stalls. If you drive past that, it's this loop-de-loop part that goes around like a U-turn, and you can drive around and come back out or whatever. And that's all that's in that area right there. But there's a dog park that's smack that in the middle of this area that you can drive around, okay? She is, but along that, where people would park off to the side, back up in there, she is back and behind where those people would park at, in that grassy wooded area back there, okay? And that's where her body, that's where she was attacked, and that's where her body was left, okay? So I hope that made sense, okay? So like I said, Anastasia's body is buried in Murray's Park, okay? And it's by the dog park area. My spirit guides do tell me that this neighbor boy was 18 years old when he killed Anastasia. Also, my spirit guides tell me that Anastasia was a blood sacrifice, okay? So, this situation, as random as it seemed, was actually planned, okay? We're talking premeditated murder here. Okay, so it was planned, and although other things went on with Anastasia, either at home or before she left home, that prompted her to leave, I feel like this is something that happened often, and so it was set up for the next time that it happened that something was gonna go down. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that Anastasia's father is aware of what happened to his daughter, okay? And at first I'm like, okay, well that was kind of general. So I'm like, of course he knows his daughter is missing. Of course he he told the police what, when he last seen her and what she was last wearing and blase, blase, bloom or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I wanted to see what else he knew, okay? So, like I said, I told you all that Anastasia was a sacrifice, okay? I don't know. I believe at some degree Anastasia was becoming a bit much for her father. My spirit guides are telling me that they argue quite frequently. Okay, pertaining to Anastasia's lifestyle and maybe her friends and what she was doing and different things. But my spirit guides tell me that. I really hate this, guys. I literally prayed before I did this reading. This is why I took a pause on the missing mysteries for a while, because I get, this mess just pisses me off. But I'm going to go ahead, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Anastasia's father did set his daughter up, okay? My spirit guides also tell me that Anastasia's father was paid for the murder of his daughter, okay? Also, my spirit guides tell me that the father is a part of a secret society. I don't feel like he's a Freemason. I specifically ask about Freemasonry. He could be involved with Freemasonry, but I feel like he is tied to some type of secret society, okay? It could be something in connection or conjunction with Freemasonry, but I feel him being connected to some type of secret society. I feel like Anastasia was set up because I believe, like I said, she had became kind of problematic for the father in some type of way. And, like I said, my spirit guides tell me that they were arguing a bit. They were fighting a bit. I didn't find any information about her mother, so I don't know if her mother was in the picture or not. But I didn't find anything where she made a statement. It was basically just the father's account to what happened. My spirit guides do tell me that the neighbor was also paid to rape and to murder Anastasia. Okay? My spirit guides tell me that the neighbor that killed Anastasia is in the military now. Okay? So, this person is, whether he's active duty or reserve or, whatever, my spirit guides tell me that he is in the military now. Okay? Now, remember I told you when Anastasia was 17 when she went missing, when this happened. The neighbor was 18 at the time. So I feel like he left not long after that and joined the military, okay? But he is still currently in the military, of course, according to what my spirit guides are telling me. But I feel like maybe we're talking middle-class families here. So considering the fact that he lived in the neighborhood, perhaps he was living with his parents at the time, and perhaps his parents still have a home there. So it would be easy enough to track down. Just to be quite frank, okay, it probably comes off and sounds, whatever, but it is what it is, okay? And it's not to say that there are not all different races of people who are middle class to upper class, okay? But when you have neighborhoods that's predominantly white neighborhoods, it doesn't mean that people of color don't stay in those neighborhoods if they can afford to, okay? But it's not like an urban area where you would see the majority of brown-skinned people in that area, okay? So basically what I'm saying is it would be fairly easily to track down the African or the brown-skinned cultured individuals who live in their neighborhood. You understand? Because I feel like they lived in a middle-class neighborhood, and the African Americans or the brown-skinned individuals who lived in that neighborhood, were the minority compared to everyone else that they lived around, okay? So they lived in a pretty decent neighborhood. It wasn't like they lived in the hood, in an urban area where it was predominantly African American people or anything, is basically what I'm saying. Not to try to segregate the races like that or anything. It's not about that. Okay, it's just about the fact, like, it's just like if you go to a rich person's neighborhood, it doesn't mean that there aren't any brown skinned people who are rich. The fact of the matter is, it's not going to be a whole lot of them that's out there. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the point. Okay, and this was a neighbor of hers. Okay, so on their street, you know what I'm saying, it could they could clearly be able to identify, how many homes are owned by brown skinned individuals, and narrow it down that way. Okay, so like I said, this gentleman was 18 at the time. I feel like he was still living with his parents at the time. Sometime after, he did work in the area at the time as well, but sometime after the situation happened, he enlisted in the military, and he is still in the military. Okay, my spirit guides tell me that Anastasia came, that the neighbor came on to Anastasia. Okay, and she abruptly said no. Okay, and Anastasia's resistance to the neighbor, like, made him really mad. This pissed him off to the max. But this was like the trigger. Like, considering the fact that this was already set up. Anyway, this was the trigger. So he was going to try to convince her in a way to have sex with him, and then just, work himself up to doing something to her in the process. But the trigger, her, refusing to have sex with him, was the trigger to, like, piss him off, enrage him enough to just go ahead and attack her and take it and kill her in the process, which was what was going to be done anyway, because it was set up. Okay, this is what he was paid to do. Okay, so my spirit guides also tell me that Anastasia, she did want to run away from home. Like I told you all, she did leave home on her own. The reason that Anastasia was clashing with her dad so much, the reason why Anastasia was kind of at the point in her life where she wanted to leave home and be on her own, it was really about, like, she didn't have a plan for this, though. She was just feeling like she was grown, and she wanted to be her own person and wanted to be on her own. But my spirit guides tell me that Anastasia was getting high. She was doing drugs, okay? And her dad fought often about this, okay? And this is the reason why Anastasia was at the point where she just wanted to run away. She just kind of wanted to do what she wanted to do. I think her dad was on her back about her behavior, about her drug use, about, what she was doing or whatever. And this is not to say, I really hate this, because this is not to say that Anastasia was a bad person. Anastasia was a beautiful girl. You understand what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that she was smart. She worked hard in school. At 17, she had either just graduated or was about to graduate from high school, okay? So, by no means do I feel like she was just this delinquent that was, like, out of control, and, but I do feel like that, excuse me, I do feel like she mixed and mingled with some friends that, turned her on to this, and, this may have helped numb the pain of what she was feeling and what she was thinking and what she was going through at home or whatever. So, she continued to actively get high, okay? And I wanted to know, what was her drug of choice? Was she taking pills? Was she smoking weed? Was she drinking alcohol? I literally got to know on all of that. She wasn't smoking weed. She wasn't popping pills. She wasn't, at least not in excess. The way that she was the other drug. I asked, was she on methamphetamines, some type of synthetic bath salts? Like, what was she getting high off of? My spirit guides tell me it was cocaine. My spirit guides tell me that it was cocaine. Somebody had turned Anastasia onto cocaine. One of her friends, in fact, okay? And this is the friend that my spirit guides are telling me knows something, knows information. And I feel like the reason why this friend has not come forward with what they know is because this is the same friend that was feeding her the cocaine, that turned her on to the cocaine. Anastasia was high on the day that she left the house. I feel like there was an argument or something with the dad, and she was leaving the house or whatever. But my spirit guides tell me that she was high at the time. Anastasia had a fight with her dad about her drug use. Okay, and like I said, the main drug of choice that I picked up from spirit was cocaine. My spirit guides tell me that, like I said, she was high on cocaine the day she left home. Okay, so there probably was some erratic behavior in there as well. She asked this neighbor for a ride, and when he came on to her, she probably was kind of matter of factly and acted very snobby-ish to him about it or whatever. And I literally hear, you think you all that, don't you? So somebody said this to her. I feel like this was the neighbor that said, you think you're all that, don't you? To her. But nevertheless, so last but not least, my spirit guides tell me that friends of Anastasia's was supplying her with the drugs. Okay. So let's get into these extra messages, guys. Okay. First, we're going to start off with this. We have hired hitmen here. Okay, so I told you that the neighbor boy, he was hired. Like, this situation was set up in some type of way. Although there was an altercation that happened, I feel like there was frequent, arguments or fights, or she would get mad and storm out the house or whatever. I feel like this may have happened before, but at some point in time, there was some type of setup that was put into place against her, to target her in a way, for the next time that this went on, and that this was going to happen, because then I get revenge. Okay, somebody wanted revenge on her. Okay, somebody was hired to attack her, to hurt her, to harm her in some type of way. Okay, and there was definitely some type of revenge pertaining to the situation and what happened to Anastasia. Next, we have here, rock star lifestyle might not make it. Okay, she was getting wasted. Okay, so and she was living this. If anybody have ever heard that song, okay, she was living this rock star lifestyle. Okay, and she was party. Let's all get wasted. She was getting wasted. Okay, and her dad found out about it. He didn't like it. And somewhere along the line, there was some type of revenge set up against her. Okay, that went on pertaining to this. Okay, and her life was brought to an end. Here we have rest in peace. Okay, so clearly, spirit is coming through, clarifying that she is no longer with us. Okay. My spirit guys, the next message we have here is set up gone wrong. I feel like there was something that was set up to, like, scare her. You know how you scare somebody straight, I feel like the setup was to scare her straight, attack her, rough her up, harm her in a way to scare her straight and make her not want to get high anymore, type of thing. But I feel like this setup went wrong. It went too far, and she ended up being killed. The next message I have here is can't trust nobody. She clearly could not trust anybody. Okay, she obviously, she was just at that age where she wanted to do her own thing. She wanted to live her own life. And, there was some very careless, reckless things that was going on in her life that she really should not have been doing. But, we live, we learn, we all make mistakes. So, we're not going to just put blame on her like that. Nobody, I don't care what was going on in her life, what she was doing that one may feel like is wrong. That does not give somebody the right to kill you, to attack you, to assault you, to rape you, to murder you in cold blood. Okay. Next we have here is control freaks. Okay, so somebody definitely wanted to control her, whether it was the father, whether it was this neighbor that attacked her. Okay, somebody was definitely a control freak, very possessive of her, and trying to keep her in check and trying to control her. And this is what she was rebelling against. Next we have so anxious. Okay, so I feel like this neighbor was like so anxious, like this neighbor, like, was really anxious about screwing, excuse me for lack of better words, okay, being sexual with Anastasia, okay, because he was very anxious, and that's the reason why the trigger when he tried to come on to her, it triggered him to just kind of snap and wig out, and then the rest kind of trickled bad juju, okay. So the person either, I feel like this is the person who attacked her, had some bad juju on them, or, spirit may be coming through saying like she had bad juju, but I really feel like this was more so the person who attacked her, okay, who harmed her in this way. Definitely had some very sinister things about them, thus they had some bad juju on them, okay. And next we have is freak a leak like a nasty, nasty, okay. So, this individual who initially came on to her and was disregarded, was told abruptly no, was a freak, okay. He was a straight up freak a leak, okay. He liked it nasty, nasty. He was so anxious and wanted her, and he was going to take it. He was going to get it by any means necessary. So he ended up abducting this girl, taking her out to a secluded area, raping her, and then killing her, okay. So the other spirit messages we have here is rape. I told you she was raped before she died. She was raped. Next we have wickedness in high places, 666 beast system, okay. So we definitely know there was some sinister individuals in a part of this setup, okay. Next we have MK Ultra mind control. So either Anastasia or the neighbor guy that did this to her was under some form of mind control, okay. And this could be the very reason why either one of them was so easily triggered, whether it be Anastasia being triggered to even be high in the first place, into it with her dad or whatever, storming out, leaving, or this neighbor guy being under mind control and triggered in a way to attack her in this way. The next message we have here is lonely, okay. So I feel like Anastasia felt lonely. She felt like she was by herself. She felt like it was just herself, and I, me, myself, and I is how she kind of felt, okay. She felt like she was on her own. She was all alone. She was a loner, and she got high to cope with that, okay. Like I said, she was trying to numb some type of pain, okay. The next message we have here is satanic ritual abuse with the MK Ultra mind control here. She could have also been suffering this way at home. She could have been going through some sort of satanic ritual abuse throughout her life, especially with her family being connected to secret societies. Yeah, the next message we have here is High Priestess. I actually did not know that this message came out. Okay, so this talks about secret messages, secret informations, the divine, the most high, spiritual, okay. But more often than not, when the High Priestess come up, there's definitely some type of secret knowledge or information pertaining to a situation, and that falls right up under the MK Ultra mind control and right next to satanic ritual abuse. So I definitely feel like that Anastasia probably was a MK mind control victim, and she had been going through satanic ritual abuse since she was young, okay. Next we have here is sexual healing. So this talks about pleasure. It says it feels good, sex magic, climax, and good, okay. So the bastard that freaking had his way with her, this was like sexual healing for him, and he wanted some type of sexual healing from him. This is the reason why he was so anxious, okay. So he came on to her, and I don't know if he knew that she was high or under the influence of something, that he thought that she was going to be more receptive to giving into his advances, but when she snapped and said no, it like triggered and pissed him off, and he took it anyway. The next message we have here is you can't trust anybody, okay. This talks about wickedness, deception. It says watch your back, evil, okay. So this individual was definitely evil. He was a ticking time bomb. It was just a matter of time before he attacked somebody. I feel like he would have attacked anybody that probably would have rejected him, that, you know, that he made advances to. Okay. Next message we have is crossed over spirit. So spirit is coming through and definitely saying that Anastasia Acosta has crossed over. The next message we have here is the blues. Okay, so there was sadness, loss, misery, pain, heartache, hurt, you know, just feeling down. This is how Anastasia felt. This is the reasons that she was getting high in the first place, and not to mention that the situation gave her the blues. You know, it kind of broke her heart that this is what she was going through, that this is what was happening. But I feel like that she was already, because we got the lonely card out, she was already feeling lonely and by herself, and she was already feeling sad and down and pain and loss, you know, and then come this betrayal. Okay. So this talks about gossip, bad juju, backstabber, liars, disloyal, manipulators, deceivers, two-faced individuals. Okay, she was definitely betrayed by more than one person. Okay, so, you know, the betrayal could have started right at home, but ultimately she was betrayed by this kidnapper. Okay, that took advantage of her. In such a grotesque way. I feel like this individual was even a stalker. Like, he was like, had been watching her beforehand. Okay, so he was definitely following her, you know, harassing her, invading her, watching her, you know, and kind of in the shadows. He was in the shadows though. Like, she wasn't aware that this person was stalking her or whatever. And on the day that she left home, you know, she just wanted to get away. She asked somebody for a ride, and this just kind of went all wrong. The next message we have here is blackout. I feel like at some point in time while she was being raped or killed, she blacked out for a minute. I believe when she blacked out, he thought, he may have thought that he had killed her, or he just finished her off because she blacked out and she was no longer moving or anything. And so I think he finished her off or whatever. But at some point in time, she blacked out while being attacked. Okay, the next message we have here is bad vibes all around. Okay, so this talks about envy, jealousy, haters. It also talks about obsession. Okay, so I feel like this neighbor guy, he was obsessed with her. He had been watching her. He had been wanting to be sexually intimate with her for a while, okay? But when she rejected him, he got mad as hell, okay? He had this fiery anger, okay, that this outrage, okay? He just totally wigged out, and Spirit is coming through and saying that he was the devil in disguise, okay? Somebody that's wicked, somebody, it talks about, again, two-faced, a person who is two-faced, or, you know, a person with multiple personalities or multiple sides of them, just wicked and evil type individual, okay? So, considering the fact that I found out that Anastasia was killed, I did pull my murder mystery oracle cards here, okay? So, we're going to get into these messages, and this is going to break down the crime that took place better for you all, okay? And I just want to let you all know that, like, I didn't make this up. The card that's on the bottom of the deck says premeditated murder. Killer planned out the details in advance. I can't make it up, okay? Premeditated murder. This was a setup. Okay, so the first card we have here is spontaneous behavior or mental illness contributed to the crime. Okay, somebody wigged out. Okay, somebody was triggered and totally wigged out. There was some type of spontaneous behavior, either when the neighbor came on to her, she could have wigged out on him. This could have been before she left the house. You see her like throwing a tantrum, having a fit. This girl having a fit here in her house is here in the background. I feel like this could also be pertaining to the argument or disagreement that she had with her father when she stormed out the house, when she left the house on that day. But there was some type of spontaneous behavior that took place that contributed to the crime, okay? And I feel like maybe this happened often, okay? Maybe this is how she ended up acting when she got upset after she was getting high or whatever. But there was definitely some type of spontaneous behavior on that day. The next message we have here is victim engaged in unusual behavior prior to the crime. The victim, okay, engaged in unusual behavior prior to the crime. She was getting high. I told you when she left the house, she was under the influence, okay? Which triggered a lot of this or whatever, because I definitely feel like the dad felt some type of way about her getting high, okay? And, you know, they argued and they fought a lot about this situation and other things, I feel like, okay? Yeah, it says a closer observation of the victim's living space may provide clues, okay? So I don't feel like authorities searched her room, searched her house, okay? There's clues at her house as to what she was doing prior to. There could have been some type of contraband, some type of, you know, drug residue or something left behind, something. There could have been, you know, some type of evidence of a struggle or a fight or something that she had prior to her leaving her house. Again, you see this house in the background, okay? There's definitely evidence and clues, you know, at her house leading up to the time that she left her house, okay? This says a closer observation of the victim's living space may provide clues, okay? The next message we have here is illegal activities played a role. I told you. So, I mean, her getting high off cocaine is clearly a illegal activity, okay? Her getting high is what contributed to the fight with her family, with her dad or whomever. Her, you know, reacting spontaneous with the spontaneous type of behavior, you know, was due to illegal activities. The, you know, the behavior that she engaged in prior to her disappearance, okay, pertain to illegal activities as well. But these illegal activities played a role in what essentially happened to her. Spirit is coming through and saying that this crime may be solved by DNA testing or other scientific methods, okay? I definitely feel like that the killer, the abductor, her neighbor, left DNA evidence on her body. There was definitely DNA evidence that was left on her body in some way, shape, form, or fashion, okay? Or on her clothing or something, okay? There's some type of DNA testing or other scientific methods that can be done to solve this case, okay? And what did I tell you? This was a neighbor, okay? Suspect lives near the scene of the crime, okay? So this was a neighbor who was involved in this. You see, again, you see how this house is in the background? They lived on the same street. You see this guy here? Okay? This guy, this neighbor, lived in their neighborhood, okay? Victim's family was familiar with the killer, okay? Again, I told you, didn't I say in my spirit reading that she was familiar with this person? She was familiar with him because they had seen him many times. They knew of each other. They were neighbors. The family knew of this family. They might be the only black family that lived on their street. Possibly. They were familiar with them. Of course they know. Okay? But this says not only the victim, but the victim's family was familiar with the killer as well. Okay? Also, Spirit is coming through and saying that the killer worked in the area at the time. This looks like some type of factory, some type of warehouse or something. The killer worked in the area at the time. Like I said, he was 18 years old, so he was working somewhere. This may be some type of factory or something. But like I said, after that, at some point in time, he enlisted in the military. And he went into the military, and I believe he used that to get away. He used that to be able to get away for a while after this crime. Didn't I tell you that he came on to her and there was like a big argument even between them? There was a disagreement. She told him no. Killer had an argument or disagreement with the victim. You see them here arguing? This is when I feel like he told her, you think you all that, don't you? Because she wouldn't give him none. He wanted to have sex with her. She said no. He thought he was going to be able to take advantage of the situation, maybe because she was under the influence, but she didn't want to have sex with him. She honestly wasn't attracted to him like that or whatever. And then I tell you, he got this fiery anger about him. That was the trigger. He just snapped. And this is when, he came up in his mind that he was just going to take it. Anyway. So the spirit says that the killer has a history of committing crimes. So if authorities is able to track down this neighbor, this family that lived in their neighborhood, okay, and they find out who this individual is, they run his name through CODIS. I believe he has a history from juvenile on up to committing little petty crimes. Little petty crimes. I did specifically ask my spirit guides. This was not somebody that Anastasia went to school with. So whoever this neighbor was, like I said, Anastasia was 17 when all of this went down. The neighbor boy was 18. So he had already graduated school, but they did not go to the same school. Okay? I specifically asked that. I told you all from my spirit reading that spirit came through and told me that if authorities had checked Anastasia's social media, that they would be able to know how she was feeling, what she was dealing with, and different things. It says social media will provide valuable clues. I believe she was posting on her social media how, she was feeling, what was going on at home, and different things like that. And this is how the friends that she had was, knew what was going on and how she was unhappy, and convincing her, girl, yeah, maybe you should just leave. Spirit is saying surveillance cameras may provide important clues. Okay, so there is surveillance cameras somewhere between a lot of people have home cameras, doorbell cameras, different things. So there's either somebody with a neighborhood camera, or between their neighborhood and them traveling to Murray Park. Okay, there were cameras. There's some type of surveillance somewhere where they can be seen together. Okay? The next message we have here is lies, deception, and a potential cover-up. Okay? So I told you this was set up. I told you Anastasia was a blood sacrifice. Okay? So there was definitely lies and deceptions around this situation, around what was really happening and what was really going on. And there was definitely a cover-up that took place as well. And like I told you, not only the father, but the neighbor boy that ultimately was the one who pulled off this crime, they got paid. Okay? Spirit is coming through and saying there was a motive for committing the crime. You see that person there? Can y'all see that? And all these bags of money here? There was a motive for committing the crime. Somebody got paid for committing this crime. And last but not least, my spirit guides are telling me that the killer is out of the area. So I feel like the killer is not in Arkansas anymore. And this is how I picked up that he was in the military. So he could be active duty. He could be, stationed somewhere else or whatever right now or whatever. But I really feel like that his parents still live, or his family or parents or whatever still live in that home because they own the home. Okay, it's not like a rental property. I feel like this is like a middle class neighborhood, middle to upper class. Like I just feel like it's a not too richy, too uppity, like or whatever. But I do feel like it's a better type of area. Maybe it is, but I definitely feel like this neighbor's family still lives in that house. And basically all they would have to do, authorities would have to do, was figure out which neighbor's house it was, and then figure out if they had a son or whoever, however he is related to them, to figure out who he is. But I really kind of feel like that, authority figures know. Okay, Because, you know, when you get wickedness in high places and you're talking about secret societies and sex setups and cover-ups and all kinds of things, there's individuals in power who knows about this situation, okay? Which is probably who assisted in the cover-up, okay? But there was definitely, like I told you, the card at the bottom of the deck says that this was premeditated murder. And like I told you also, there is a friend that knows something, okay? Okay? Also, if the killer is not stationed somewhere right now in the military, he could have committed another crime and may be in jail right now. Okay? Either way, this situation was premeditated murder, guys. Okay? So that concludes the reading for Anastasia Acosta. I do thank you all for listening and for watching. If you will, please like, share, and subscribe. If there's any of you who would like to contact me pertaining a missing mystery case or a murder mystery case, or just a general topic that you would like for me to do a reading on, I would be more than glad to do so for you all. You can email me at tiffanyziegler60@gmail.com. And I will get right on that as soon as I can, okay? If there's anybody who would like to donate to the channel, it will be greatly appreciated. You can do so through Cash App. It is $TiffDiamond36, okay? So I thank you all in advance for that as well. Okay, so like I always tell you all, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies. Y'all, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in, okay? And there is evil that is lurking around every corner, okay? You never can be too careful, okay? You have to watch your back, honey, because you never can tell who's going to betray you, who's going to stab you in your back, who's going to take you too fast, who's going to try to get over on you. And more often than not, in a lot of these stories, I mean, a lot of things is going on in the world. People are finding out on a daily basis that you just can't trust people. Even the people closest to you that you think you can trust. But, yeah. So, y'all need to watch your surroundings, watch the company that you keep, and watch the company in which your children are in, okay, guys? Keep a close eye on your kids this Halloween. If you celebrate that, if you allow your children to celebrate that, keep a close eye, okay, out on people. There's a lot of people who go missing around this time, okay? So y'all just be careful, okay? Y'all need to stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared. Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, okay? So until the next time, guys, peace, love, and light. Namaste.